getting out early. Make the most of the early time while you can. During the summer months, I always get out early to beat the heat. During the winter months, fall months, cooler months, as they're whatever they are, get out early just to beat laziness and beat a sedentary lifestyle, which for me, it's very easy to develop one when it's cooler. I do not like the cool weather. So if it's below, say, 80 degrees, 70 degrees, I don't like it. It's about 60 degrees right now, maybe 55, something like that. It's pretty cool. It's a cool day, cool morning, and I'm a little bit chilly, but it's okay. I'm getting out right before dawn, as early as I can, early as I possibly can. I want to be on this first property by the time the sun starts to come up, just so I can see enough to get the lines edged and get the things trimmed, and by the time I get done with that, it'll be ready to use the mowers and get everything cut. I'm going to this first property today. This is one that this gentleman contacted me a couple of months ago, actually, beginning of the season, and inquired about services. And they weren't happy with their lawn guy that they had at the time, and they told me the size of the yard and the scope, and I looked at the property on maps, Google Maps, and it was a pretty big yard, and a little bit off my normal route, not quite, impossible, but just a little bit further out from any other property that I had. And so I was telling him, look, with driving and with the size of this lot, it's a corner lot, so this is what you're going to be at, to mow this property. And I told him, he told me what the old guy was charging him, and I told him, straight up, hey, look, this is a really good price for this yard. I can't beat this price. So if you want me to do this property, this is going to be the cost. And then I told him some other things, clean up in the fall is going to be minimum this, you want me to put down, you buy this organic fertilizer, you want me to put this down, I can do that. It's going to be this much, I'll use your spreader and your equipment and whatever. It doesn't matter. It's organic fertilizer, so, no big deal. But it's what it's going to end up being, And he said, okay, well, I'm not happy with my current lawn company, but I think we'll stick with them for a little while and see if we can make it work. Well, contacted me a couple of weeks back and said, yeah, it's not working out. And the reason he gave me was really strange. Like the guy left town abruptly, and not even, a lot of times these guys go home to Mexico or whatever. This wasn't the case. The guy just up and left, and wasn't coming back for a couple of months is the story. He went on a couple month vacation in the middle of the season, 2 months remaining in the season, and he decides, screw it, I'm gone. Well, apparently it was not a good plan, because this guy decided he was going to use that time to make a change. And so he made a change. He switched to me. So this will be, second time I've serviced the property. So we're going out here to make this happen. And, trying to stay productive here as the season, the normal weekly mowing season will be coming to an end here in about 3 weeks or so. End of October typically is when the last time we do a weekly cut, as far as that goes. There are still jobs that we do sometimes into November, depending on the weather. If we get if it stays kind of mid-range temperature-wise like this, and we have, some more rain in the forecast, we might be cutting into middle of November. But that's not always the way it is. Sometimes it's an early cleanup season hits, and we start doing leaves at 1st of November. Loud exhaust. No one cares. But yeah, avoiding laziness and avoiding complacency, it's something that I've struggled with in recent years, just especially when it gets cooler. When it gets cooler, I want to stay in bed. I don't want to get out in this. I want to be warm. And it's difficult for me to get going when it's cooler. And this year though is different. This year is the first year where everything is on my shoulders in order to succeed. I succeed. If I fail, everybody fails. If I don't make it, my family doesn't make it. So this is. My wife's not working right now. This is all we got is my business, my income, my business income is all we have. And we're doing really good, but the point is you gotta not take your feet off the fire, What in the world? Homeless person running across the road. That's smart. Wow. Guy almost got hit by a car. Anyway. You got to not take your feet off the fire and got to not, slow down and not, because it's all riding on you when you're in this situation. And if I succeed, everybody succeeds. If I don't make it, nobody makes it. And, it's one of those things where you got to succeed or die trying. And I'm not saying I want to die, but dying would be a success in one sense versus living as a failure, and that's how I see it a lot of times. And just seeing other people living their life as, lazy, unmotivated, I don't want to say a nasty word here, but there's a word that comes to mind that I think of people like this, and seeing people like this, lazy, uneducated, unmotivated people that just want to sit around and waste away, it pisses me off, and I don't want to be that person. And I see elements of that in myself from time to time, specifically when the season starts to cool down, and I just want to stay in bed, and I just want to be sleeping my day away, as the song says. I'm sleeping my day away. If you know about that song by Dad. That's the name of the band, Dad. Look, coming up on the bridge. The actual name of that band was Disneyland After Dark, but for legal reasons, they had to change that name to Dad. But you can look them up if you're so inclined. I'm not going to give you any more information about them here. But yeah, we're coming up on this bridge here. Little Addison, Texas bridge here. Beating the laziness is what we're doing right now. But moving forward, there's no other option. We gotta beat it. We gotta fight through it. We gotta move on. We gotta, surround ourselves with those people that are gonna help us improve, and the people that are gonna be lazy and unmotivated, screw them. We gotta throw them off to the curb and let them be, because they're just going to hold you back. I've discovered that recently a little bit. Some people that you thought you could count on, you can't count on them. They're going to be what they're going to be. If they want to be lazy and unmotivated and sit around all day, that's all they're going to do. And that's not going to be me. I'm going to be productive. I'm going to be productive and profitable, and I'm going to make it happen. So, I know it's an early talk video, but it's never too early to share these nuggets of wisdom. Hope somebody got something out of this. Feels good to kind of get it out there, a little bit in the open, and kind of share the message. approaching the Addison Transit Center. Luckily, we're not stopping there.